All right, here we are with another installment, a week's worth of installments of Instant Classics, and you guys have been really good. You've been very vocal about how much you love this segment, and we love doing it. It is nice to put all this garbage away and just look at truth and beauty, and that's what art at its best is. It is truth and beauty, and this week it is Marc Chagall week on the Dr. Duke Show, one of the great 20th century painters, and just a guy who understood color like very few understand color. In some ways, you could say that he has the same relationship to color in the 20th century that Titian had in the Renaissance. So that's saying a lot. And Chagall, of course, I know many of you have seen his paintings, but you may not be familiar with him. So let's take a look at our picture for today. It's called I and the Village. And it's an interesting painting. And I want to first give you some information about Chagall. Chagall was born Moishe or Moses Chagall in 1887. He was a Russian-French artist of Belarusian Jewish origin. So it's good to know that Stalin didn't kill all the Russian Jews off. And he did, of course, for a while. He was an expatriate, too, during the worst of the Soviet occupation. He was an early modernist painter. He was associated with several major artistic styles and created works in a wide range of artistic formats, including paintings, drawings, book illustrations, stained glass. Some of his stained glass is as beautiful as anything that he did do. Stage sets, ceramics, tapestries, and so forth. Chagall has been called the quintessential Jewish artist of the 20th century. He was respected as the world's preeminent Jewish artist by others. And Picasso, they figure no less than Pablo Picasso once said of him in the 1950s, when Matisse dies, the great impressionist, Chagall will be the only painter left alive who understands what color really is. This painting, this really very interesting painting here, was painted the year after Chagall left the Eastern Europe for Paris. I and the Village evokes his memories of his native Hasidic community outside of his hometown. In this village, peasants and animals live side by side in a mutual dependence, here in the painting signified by the line from peasant to cow connecting their eyes. The peasant's flowering sprig, symbolically a tree of life, is the reward of their partnership and a clear, hankering, hearkening back to the Old Testament. For Hasidic people, animals were also humanity's link to the universe, and the painting's large circular form suggests the orbiting sun and the moon in eclipse at the lower left and the earth. The geometries of this painting are stunning, the mathematics behind it. They are inspired by the broken planes of Cubism. No wonder Picasso paid attention. But Chagall is a personalized version of that vision. As a boy, he had loved geometry, lines and angles, triangles and squares. He would later recall, carried me far away to enchanting horizons. Conversely, in Paris, he used a disjunctive geometric structure to carry him back home. Where Cubism was mainly an art of urban avant-garde society, I and the Village is nostalgic and magical and personal. It's a rural fairy tale. Objects jumbled together, scale shifts abruptly, and a woman in two houses at the painting's top stand upside down. For Cubists, Chagall said, quote, "A painting was a surface covered with forms in a certain order. For me, however," he said, "painting is a surface covered with representations of things in which logic and illustration and perspective, have no real importance."